So, I've been checking out tickets tonight because I was interested in seeing a concert at the end of the year. I don't know why, because I hate concerts really. It's just a big bother to actually go there. But I thought I might this year. Oops, I cannot get a good angle with this camera. Um, over there, yeah. Yeah, I thought I might this year because I don't know. I thought it'd be a good idea, but when push comes to shove, tickets are expensive unless you're buying the cheapest ticket, which isn't always the best. So I'm sort of been thinking about it. Which kind of seat do I want? And I first of all I wanted the front seat, which is right to the side because it's closest to the door. You get some fresh air while you sit there. You don't have to walk up any stairs, and it's a pretty good seat. But I don't necessarily like the floor because sometimes people start to party halfway through the event and they come, you know, crawling all over the floor area and not sticking to their section, right? So sometimes you get people trying to hit on you while they're partying. Um, Another thing is you can be asked by the singer to get up on stage, which is a little bit of a bad thing because I don't like I don't want to go up on stage. I just want to sit there and watch the show, right? Um, but the reason why I picked it is because it's like a small section, got lots of space around it. So if there's any COVID floating around, you probably will not get hit by the COVID. So that's sort of why I wanted that section because you don't just have air coming in through the doors. It's a small section as well. Um, but the downside to that is that it costs like $700. And when you realize it's got like $100 tax on top of the $600 ticket, you're like going, well, why on earth is there like $100 tax on there? I mean, GST isn't that much. But for this event, it is. So I was going to think about buying that. I'm getting the ticket printed, and that's another $30 on top. Because we don't have a printer, I can be bothered dealing with printers, and it just makes it more real. So you've got like a heirloom that whose stub you can sell afterwards for several $100s too. So I was contemplating that seat, but then I realized I don't always like that front area, and I'm pretty sure like I fainted at least once because you still it's still not the best area to sit. But so I do remember sitting on the first row, which is like the lower level. I don't really like the upper levels. They're not just sky high and you have to climb up a heap of rickety stairs. The people are rude. Like, I've been pushed off the top level onto the second level because someone was drunk and rude. So I don't necessarily like the top level. And I don't really like the second level either. I don't like walking up the stairs. And so I thought, well, if I don't want the floor, there's the first level that I can go to, right? Um, I remember like last time I went, it was like I thought it was better than the floor because people stick to their seats. There's no threats, no surprises, and I still got chosen to get on stage last time by the singer, and I was like, but the only thing is you don't know what section you're going to get. So you could get one section or you could be looped to another area. But I do remember when I went there, I was thought it was the best time. So, and that ticket's half the price of the floor ticket. And I was like going, oh, which one should I buy? Should I buy like the small section or should I buy like, because you don't know where you're sitting on the first level. You might be sitting with a heap of other people, and then you're not protecting yourself against COVID with that one and stuff. So I was contemplating that one because I just remember sitting there and having the best of times there. Um, and so I was thinking, oh, maybe I'll choose that one. And then I was going back to my original idea, oh, maybe I should choose that little section because then it's separate from a lot of other people. And then I was confused and I stopped thinking about it. So I'm really lost and confused right now. I don't know which section I'd want to go to at the moment. I think the little section is a good idea, but then I realized I do like that first row section, like that front row but you can't choose where you're sitting. You just get put anywhere. And I'm like, oh, which one do I want? And I don't know what I want. And I'm so depressed, and it's giving me a headache to think about what I want because I don't know what I want. And I'm like, oh, it's so confusing. So I don't want to get into a tussle with anyone. I don't want people trying to hit on me or pick me up, or I don't want there to be surprises. And I don't really want to be picked up by the singer, but things can happen like that. So it could happen. I mean, it might not because I'm not young anymore, but it could happen. And I'm like, I don't really want that. So I'm paying a lot of money for something that might be uninviting, or I could pay half the amount for something that I have no idea where I'm going to be sitting is the thing, and I have a more higher risk of being exposed to COVID because there's lots of people around you. So I'm going to have a headache all night thinking about what I want. So sad.